Code monkey get up, get coffee. Code monkey go to job. Code monkey have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say code monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do code monkey think? Code monkey think maybe manager wanna write login page himself. Code monkey not say it out loud. Code monkey not crazy, just proud. Code monkey like Fritos. Code monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code monkey very simple man. Big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
How they hangin' dino dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. Now, I know I was kinda leading you on saying, oh yeah, I swear the next review will be a TV show. And I was working on the Mayans MC review of Season 1, and I was also finishing up Narcos Mexico, and I promised the next two reviews will be those shows. Unless I watch the sequel to this movie before then. I'm sorry, I hate lying to you guys like that, but you know, the timing just worked better because I completely didn't realize I thought the sequel to this movie was coming out Friday, not today. I'm so sorry. I just got caught up and caught off guard and a bunch of other stuff happened. Yeah, it turns out just running out of office and not actually resigning still means I'm in charge of Mexico, which... Sorry to anyone who's been hurt because of that, but El Presidente Fasale is not a good president, I'll tell you that much. Anyhow, how about we talk about something that is good? In fact, not just good, something that is phenomenal. Let's talk about a movie which kinda changed a lot for me. I'm talking about the... I forget the date. Sorry, I'm looking it up right now. I hate when this happens. 2012, I thought so. The 2012 Disney movie, Wreck-It Ralph. Now you might be questioning, okay, how did this change things for you? Well, for a long while, I didn't really care much for going to movies. I honestly just found them boring. A lot of the times they were too loud, and the other times I was kind of a coward growing up, so I got scared really easy. Then when I saw the trailer in 2012, I thought, okay, that's cool. That could be really cool, actually. I like the idea. All these video game characters coming together, one big movie with all these villains trying to be good guys. Hey, why not? Now, you need to know some background. While I didn't like going to the theater, I loved watching movies. I have for a long time. In fact, at one point I actually tried to start a podcast using a 2005 MacBook and the podcast recorder software that came with it. Don't ask to see any of them, they're all gone. I made sure of that, at least I'm pretty sure. I could actually go look. If I find one, I'll probably post a little bit online because it's so cringeworthy, called Mountain Dude's Movie Reviews. This was essentially the Media Raptor before the Media Raptor was a thing. These ran from 2010 to 2011, and I made over 80 of them. Yeah. They were pretty bad. See, because keep in mind though, Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012. The Media Raptor, well, technically the Sharktopus began June 16th, 2012, so they came out the same year. But the Sharktopus review didn't go up until August 14th of 2013, and the Media Raptor, I didn't call myself that until December 30th with the Monsters review, if you guys remember that one. It was my second or third review. Because I know I did like Sharknado, and then I think it was Pacific Rim, and then Monsters. Or maybe it was Monsters, then Pacific Rim. Like, it was back when I had that drawing of a raptor I found online with a song, like a copyright song, just came up for 10 seconds and said, the Media Raptor Reviews with the Media Raptor. And then like, it was when I was younger. It was when I was getting used to this. I never even thought I'd hit over 900 subscribers, let alone 10. Believe me, when I hit 10 subscribers, that was a pretty big deal for me. But Wreck-It Ralph was a movie that when I watched it, not only did I absolutely fall in love with it, I was sitting there thinking, okay, what kind of cliches is this plot following? I actually started kind of questioning the movie as it was going. Not in a bad way, but it got me to start thinking about the movie. I thought, okay, would a character actually say that? Not just in a Disney movie, but in a movie. This movie also really got me to go and kind of realize, you know what, the theater is awesome. I'm going back there more often. Technically, because of Wreck-It Ralph, my whole love of cinema kind of got a big kickstart because of it. And I owe a lot to this movie for that. Now, with that out of the way, let me just say this movie is amazing. Sorry, headphone users, but this movie is amazing. Like I said, the concept alone I thought was really interesting. Now, at the time, I thought, oh, this is such an original concept. The bad guys want to do good things, and I know there's a lot of... Excuse me. Now I know there's been a lot of media that has the whole, they're a bad guy, but they're not a bad guy. They're just misunderstood, or the anti-hero. I didn't understand those kinds of conventions when I was younger, when this movie came out. So cut me some slack there. And what they do, though, with an idea that may not be the most original in the world, is very original. I love the idea that all these old arcade games, they live in one world, that each game is its own world, but yet they come together to hang out and talk, and there's bad guy Anon with Zangief and essentially Kano and Clyde and Bowser. I love that idea. My only real complaint with the writing is how it's kind of underutilized with all these video game characters they had. We see Sonic, we see Pac-Man, we see all these characters, yet it's very much just cameo appearances. But that works. I honestly think it's for the best because it's not being bogged down with you going, hey, that character shouldn't act like that, or hey, that's funny, there's reference to another video game, or hey, what's this guy doing in this game? What would Sonic be doing in Street Fighter? Although Negan's gonna be in Tekken, so I guess anything can happen at this point. I mean, come on, man. Negan in Tekken, sure. Negan in Mortal Kombat, yes. But also Piranha Plant, really? I'm totally buying Smash when it comes out. I'm not gonna not buy it, but Piranha Plant? Not Goku? I don't know. But really, the characters are amazing. Ralph is such a lovable character from the very beginning. He's a very soft-spoken, big-hearted bad guy who's only really a bad guy because he has no choice in that. It's what he does. He wrecks things. Fix-It Felix Jr., he's such a charismatic and likable person. He's essentially that idea of a kid's cartoon when the main character is just so likable, he can do no wrong, and normally that would be really annoying to me. But they play with it so much, they get so many good jokes and great interactions out of it, that he's such a lovable character that every scene he's in is just fantastic. Calhoun, I love the whole lampooning the trope of the whole, edgy action hero. They give her such a both dramatic and yet hilarious backstory that I couldn't help but laugh out loud, and I really should have been feeling bad about it. You all know the scene I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil it, even though this movie is 6 years old. Wow, I just realized how old this movie is. And Vanellope Von Schweetz, again, a character that I kinda at first thought, okay, this girl is really annoying. But no, she's a pretty fun character. They have a lot of fun deconstructing the whole princess tropes and kind of poking fun at themselves. And this was before Frozen and Zootopia, where Disney is constantly trying to go, hey, we're not like that, we understand we messed up, we understand we're dumb. It was back when they actually were just kind of I think they might find this funny, let's give it a shot. And speaking of humor, this movie isn't a lot of spoken jokes, but there's a lot of sight gags and contextual humor, I guess, or it's just the way the world is designed that make you laugh out loud. And when these scenes that have actual spoken jokes do come, they are very well written. And part of that is helped by the actors. Excuse me. Oh, Mountain Dew, hang on. Sorry. There was not a bad actor in this entire movie. I love John C. Reilly as Wreck-It Ralph. I love Sarah Silverman as Vanellope Von Schweetz. I love Jane Lynch as Calhoun. But the guy who played Felix, there was something so familiar about his voice. Something that I swear I had heard before. And I did a little bit of digging, and it didn't really even occur to me until afterwards. The thing is, the show I know him from, the show I swore I had seen, ironically came out afterwards. It wasn't until I was rewatching the movie that I was sitting there I know that voice from something other than I Think It's Always Sunny, or was it 30 Rock? There was a cartoon he was in. I know what it was, and finally it occurred to me, wait a minute. Just use IMDb. So, hit up IMDb, clicked on his name. His name is Jack McBayer. You want to know what he's from? Wander Over Yonder. Yes, if you haven't seen this show, go watch it. It is one of the most infectiously happy shows I've ever seen. But unlike something like, say, like MLP, this one plays with the whole everything is friendship a lot better and have a lot better jokes. Then again, maybe it's just a personal opinion, but he is a perfect character in that. He's a perfect character in this. Alan Tudyk as King Candy is a great character. This is one of the movies that, this is kind of a spoiler, but not really, considering the movie's 6 years old now, and the fact that this is kind of what kickstarted the whole Disney villain reveal thing. And this, to me, I think is the only time they did it right, because they actually showed, well, I'm going to just spoil it, King Candy as a villain in a different way before revealing he was this other villain. And they even set up both villains very well, that if they were two separate characters, it would still work. Everything in this movie is so well done. I love the animation. It's so bright and colorful. It looks Disney, but it also looks unique. It looks distinct. It doesn't look like a bunch of their other like CG movies. It doesn't look like Tangled or Moana. It's got its own sort of style to it. I love the fact that so many of the video game worlds they go to, well, technically like 3 or 4, look unique and distinct, like they could actually be their own games. I think that's a lot of fun. A lot of hard work was put into it, and it clearly shows. And there's one scene actually in this that I want to talk about. It's a cliche that I believe can easily be used well, but more often than not is not used well. It's the whole, the main character, like there's the two friends and one of them has to hurt the other in order to protect them from something. And, well, you know, it comes off as like, oh, they didn't care, blah, blah, blah. This movie does do that. But, hang on, I'm just checking something. Yeah, Cinema Wins puts it perfectly. They essentially describe that scene, he describes it as a censored scene. And to be honest, when you think about it, it is. It's truly a scene that almost feels like something you would see in an R-rated movie about abuse and all that. And what makes the scene so perfect is the way they actually don't show it. It's a perfect example of tell, don't show, or tell with emotions, not with actions. And the cliche in this case actually makes sense. The reason why he has to do this, it makes sense until you find out, wait a minute, something isn't right here. But in that moment, you don't want it to happen, but you also know bad things will happen if he doesn't. And part of what makes this so amazing is Henry Jackman's score. This is one of the few times I can think of that I actually went out and bought the soundtrack on CD because I thought it was so great. And everything about it really is great. The score is amazing, the actual songs are amazing, Owl City is great in this, Skrillex has a great song in this, all the lyrical songs are amazing, just everything about this movie is so good. If you haven't seen it, I'm telling you right now, go watch it. I'm giving it a solid 4 Raptor Claws out of 4, not just out of a personal bias, but out of a quality reason. Everything from the comedy to the emotional moments to the characters to the action, everything is great. And I'm really excited to see the sequel, although I am a little nervous. See, one thing I was actually kind of nervous about while rewatching this is the fact that it is a sort of video game movie that plays off a lot of popular characters at the time, especially in 2012 when, shooters were the big deal. I was left kind of questioning, is this movie going to age well with all these references and all these characters? Well, yeah, I actually think this movie might be one of Disney's more timeless movies. Now, the sequel I'm a little nervous about because it has to do with the internet, and they're clearly referencing memes and, like fads and social trends, and I gotta question how much of that will be funny now, but won't be funny down the line. And I can't really answer that until I see the movie, so let me leave you with this. Wreck-It Ralph is my all-time favorite CG animated Disney movie. My all-time favorite Disney movie, hands down, is still 101 Dalmatians, and I can't really explain why other than childhood nostalgia, and it's just so nice, I guess is the best way to put it. It's so innocent and so fun, and the villain is amazing. But Wreck-It Ralph, you had to tell me ask me what is my favorite like CG animated Disney movie, including Pixar. It's Wreck-It Ralph. It's the only movie aside from the Avengers I actually went out and bought like the whole like gold slipcover, 3D slipcover, Blu-ray 3D, DVD, Blu-ray, digital copy, and soundtrack thing. Like, remember when they would sell like a $50 copy of a movie when it was like the Blu-ray 3D and the DVD and the Blu-ray and the soundtrack and the digital copy? Yeah, I bought that. I bought that and Avengers in that version real briefly. I remember actually in 2013, I think, or 2012, because in Canada we had Target for like a year and then it went out of business for some reason because I think they forgot to lower their prices like Target should, and they had it on sale for a decent price, so I bought those two. But anyhow, you guys, I love this movie. I still do, even after 6 years and however many times I've seen it. I highly recommend it. And until next time, Dino Dudes, this has been the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see all you Dino Dudes around. Later.